Yo, what's up? It's Jack. Today I'm talking about one of my favourite quotes, and it comes from this book, in the Daily Stoic, which reads, "You can't always be getting what you want." Really important quote, I think, for this day and age, when people just expect that they can have everything, don't they? I want to read you the quote. "You can't always be getting what you want. When children stick their hand down a narrow goodie jar, they can't get their full fist out and start crying. Drop a few treats and you will get it out. Curb your desire. Don't set your heart on too many things and you will get what you need." We can have it all seems to be this mantra of our times. When you're children, your parents and teachers, they fill you up with ideas, don't they, about what do you want to be, what do you want to do? And you have all these grand ideas. This idea that we could be and do anything. You want to be the president? Go for it, sunshine. But there wasn't enough balance. While it's great that you should tell your children that they can do anything that they want to, of course you can. It's your life after all, isn't it? But there's got to be a bit of realistic balance in there as well. Because very often you can't have it all. You can't have your cake and eat it. Otherwise you'll be a fat fucker. What this quote actually says to me is that you can't do everything at once. You can't stick your hand in the cookie jar and get all of the cookies out. You can only get one at a time. In my own life, I've experienced this, and it manifests through this hustle culture type of thing whereby we think we can start a business, do a job, start a YouTube channel, grow on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and do a job, and go to the gym, eat healthily, maintain our relationships, go out, socialise, go drinking, wake up the next day, and on and on and on. And we're expected to do all of this at the same time. I probably realised this when I got to 30 years old, is that you can't do it all. You just can't. It's just impossible. You will be fucking knackered. And you've got all these gurus online that say like, just get up an hour earlier, get it done, get to the gym, work out, go to work, smash the day, sell everything you can, come home, do a YouTube channel. If you don't do it, then you don't want it enough. The people that say that are usually either on drugs or they're superhuman in a way that they just have an unlimited amount of energy that normal people like us don't have. I do not have enough energy to be getting up, working out, going to work, coming home, making YouTube videos, going out. I just don't have the energy to do those things. I just don't. I've tried it, didn't like it. So now I know my limitations, right? I know that there's a certain amount of mental effort I can expend throughout the day, and I quite literally just do YouTube videos. I quit my job, for God's sake. I don't have a job at the moment. I'm living out of my savings. Right? Now I did that for the sole purpose of growing my YouTube channel. I'm making a sacrifice because I know you can't always be getting what you want. I don't go to the gym, so that's time saved. It's probably not good for me. I decided to make that decision. I eat fairly healthily anyway. I have some social things to do each week, like go and play football on Thursday and go to the pub, but every other hour in the day is spent on YouTube. Now, I don't spend every hour in the day on YouTube at all. In the morning, I usually do a lot of journaling. And then when it gets to the afternoon, I usually go for a walk. And then in the evening, I'll watch Netflix or something else. And don't listen to those people that say, don't watch Netflix, do 3 hours extra work. No, I'm not a robot. I'm going to do things that I enjoy because that's what life's about. And there's this thing that Derek Sivers talked about, which is that when he went for a bicycle ride and he pedalled really, really hard and he did this bike ride, that's 10 miles or something, and he timed himself and he really put loads of effort in and he was panting and sweating and he got all the way back and he did the 10 miles and he got back and it was about 2 hours. And then he thought, okay, this time I'm not going to put any effort in. I'm just going to enjoy the ride. So he went for the bicycle ride and he cycled around and he did the 10 miles. But then when he got to the end, he wasn't sweating. He looked at the time, 2 hours and 10 minutes. So all that sweat and effort that he put into the first thing only benefited him by 10 minutes. I'll see if I can show you the clip to that. Just goes to show you don't need to pant and puff to get what you want. Usually, just putting in the daily, consistent efforts will get you to where you need to be. Everyone's only got 24 hours a day, but it's how you use them, you know? Don't need to think that I need to sit at the desk for 22 hours a day and sleep for 2 hours just to get where I want to be. You're probably doing it the wrong way around because you kind of come in at it from the assumption that I can get there fast, like shortcut the whole process. We all want it all, don't we? We want the family, the career, the wife, the kids, the dog, the house, the car, the nice things, the holidays, the money. We want all of it because those things will give us respect and validation in the world, because people will look at us and our friends will, they'll go, God, aren't you doing well? And we live for that. We really live for people saying to us, God, you've done really well with your life. I think we live by that too much. But we don't just want all of those things eventually. We want them now. All of them. All of those things, we want them now. Right now. But that's really bloody unhealthy. Because you can't. It's just unrealistic. I think as well, people are way too busy these days. We're far too busy to sit down and contemplate why we want certain things. Every morning I sit down and journal for about an hour and I just write about the things that are in my head. I would really like a dog, for example. So instead of just rushing out on a whim and going and getting a dog, like many people have done during lockdown, for multiple weeks or months on end now, I've been writing down the pros and cons, how it would work, what kind of breed would suit me. I live in an apartment, so it's not going to be very dog friendly, you know. I think a dog should have a garden. They cost money. I don't have lots at the moment. I'm putting most of my savings into getting YouTube going, so that wouldn't be too good. Would it be noisy? Would it be running in and out of here while I'm trying to film? These are the things that I journal about. I don't just make snap decisions about things. Take the time to think about things properly, and I take the time, instead of being busy, take the time to think about why I want things. Really thinking about, why do I want a dog? For the companionship. But why do you need companionship? Good point. I've been fine up until now. There's a film called Whiplash, one of my most favourite films, and he actually breaks up with his girlfriend, who had been seeing for a while. He wanted to concentrate 100% on his drumming, you know, and he regretted it, obviously, but it was probably the right decision to get what you want. Because you got to think, you got a partner, unless they're a really good partner and they help you towards your dreams. Most people don't help people towards their dreams. They kind of put people off their dreams with going after, you know, the dog and the house and the car and the holiday and the things like that, and should we get married and should we have kids? Well, that's fine for most people, but for a lot of you watching this, you probably want to achieve things in life, you know? You want to be a baller, for fuck's sake, be a millionaire, and don't let people put you off that dream, because that's a good dream to have. It's not just getting money for money's sake, it's getting money to buy freedom, and freedom is the goal, I think. Freedom is a very bloody good goal. In the past, I've been caught in the trap of trying to do it all, you know? Like going to the gym, working 9 to 5, going out at night, socialising, drinking, getting up the next day feeling awful. The reason I enjoyed doing it for a while was there's a buzz to it. You get a buzz out of it. Constantly being busy gives you a busy buzz, and it's that busy buzz that I think a lot of these people like. You see people when they're working in London and they're in their nice suits, they're working in the, I don't know, finance or banking or whatever, and then they leave and they're all down the pub. Pubs are spilling out into central London. They're all drinking and having a laugh and being loud, and then they get the last train home and they have like 4 hours sleep and they're up the next day. Most of them are doing cocaine. You do know that. Most of them are on drugs. It's like the Wolf of Wall Street scene. That's the only way that they keep going. Epictetus says, don't set your heart on too many things. And this is true. You can have it all, but you have to prioritise, because you can't go after everything at once, because your focus is then going after 5 things at once rather than one thing at once. Take me, for instance. I'm doing one thing at the moment. I've got one goal, and that's to get the YouTube channel to 10,000 subscribers. I'm about 15% of the way there. I've got these other goals that I want to do, but it's one thing at a time. Most people, they go after 5 things at once, and then they get discouraged when they don't work. Well, think about it. If you're going after 5 things at once, the new house, the job, the side hustle, the YouTube channel, the Instagram thing, whatever, right? 5 things at once. And I'm going after one thing at once, the YouTube channel. I'm putting 100% of my effort into that. You're putting 100% of your effort into 5 things. So that's 20% on this, 20% on that, 20% on that, 20% on that, 20% on that. So you're only putting 20% of effort into your YouTube, whereas I'm putting 100% in. You see the difference? Because I'm putting 100% of my effort into one thing, that is at the expense of other things. So health, for example, maybe. I'm not going to the gym, but I'm young enough to be okay with that. I eat fairly healthily. Perhaps I don't socialise as much as I could do now that everything's opened back up again. But you have to be willing to make sacrifices for your one thing. What you need to do is focus and prioritise. Find out what the first thing you should do is, and then do that. Like I say, things kind of naturally lead on to each other. So for instance, for me, YouTube channel leads to independent money, and also money that scalable, right? People with 10,000 subscribers on YouTube could make £1,000 a month. Some make 5,000 a month. So after you've got that money, that opens the doorway. As I get older, I now realise the allure of the shiny object syndrome, which is something that I was guilty of for about 10 years throughout my 20s. Shiny object syndrome is basically where you come across an idea about, say, Instagram, and you go, oh, brilliant, I can make money with Instagram. And then you jump on that, and you're like, doing Instagram, brilliant. But then you'll give up after a couple of months, and you'll find something else. I'm going to write books now. I'm going to write books. Going to write books and publish books on Kindle. And you jump from one thing to the other, and you never fully put all your effort into one thing. You just quit and move around to the next shiny object. Like crypto, classic example, right? All this noise about cryptocurrency came out, and people were jumping on that, going, yeah, crypto, I'm going to invest all my money in crypto. Where are they now? You know, I mean, some people made some money out of it, yeah. Most of it was scams, you know, just people jumping on it for a quick buck because it was the latest shiny thing. But the magic comes where you do something and you do it consistently for a long period of time and you prioritise it. Like me, I don't have a job. Why? Because I'm prioritising YouTube. I do that as a job until the savings run out, and then I'll have to get a job. My suggestion to you is to write down everything. So get a journal and start writing things down. This one, it's all my notes and journals, right? This is a moleskin Kahir, I think it's called, journal, like floppy back, right? But the paper in this is perfect. And you get a nice fountain pen, like one of these Lammies, and it makes the writing experience enjoyable. Okay, they're not cheap, these notebooks. They're about, I think, £15 or $20 for 3 of these, but they'll last you a couple of months. One of these is about 15 quid. It's not a lot, maybe less than that, but having a bit of premium quality to them makes it a more enjoyable experience to write in. So journaling is one of the most important things I reckon most people should be doing, because it allows you to prioritise. When thoughts pop into my head about things, I usually pop them into this, which is my day journal. So thought comes into my head and I think, I would quite like some new recipes for cooking. So I write that down in here. When I'm mid-flow of working, I think I would like to get some new recipes. Instead of Googling it and stopping work, I'll write it down in here, and then at the end of the day I'll come back to it and I'll go, oh yeah, I'm going to Google these things now that popped into my head during the day. Also ask yourself, when you're journaling and a thought comes into your head about why you want something, is this thing that you want just to impress other people? Because this is a big thing with people today. They're ego driven. They only really care about impressing other people with some flashy car or whatever. It's there to impress others so that other people will go, oh, aren't you doing well? It's so not necessary. It detracts from your goal. Journaling about things that pop into your head help you realise what's important to you and what goals and stuff you're going after. If people just focused on one goal at a time, you'd start to see bloody big results. One final point, journaling will help you realise all the needless tasks that you do that makes your life busy but not productive. That's the difference.